It's Mike Brennan. We're doing another segment on MI Tech TV, and I have calling in from West Michigan. Yes, that string is very tight today. Alex Andrews. He's going to be announcing something called MI Career Compass, and so let's start off with the organization you work with, Alex. I don't have that in my notes, so why don't you go ahead and explain what you got, who you guys are, and then we'll get into what this thing does.
Yeah, so I'm with TalentFirst. So we are kind of a business-led nonprofit in West Michigan. Have about 120, 130 CEOs as part of our membership. And our organization is really focused on catalyzing an aligned talent system, really trying to make West Michigan a top region for talent.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about this new resource, MI Career Compass. First of all, how do people get to it?
So you can access it via our website, so talentfirst.net/mycareercompass.
And that's MI, because we're
Yep,
in Michigan.
yes, MI. That's correct.
So what's on the website? I understand the aim is to address the workforce gap in West Michigan.
Yeah, so essentially what we want to do is really simplify career exploration.
Hmm.
So I think we recognized very early on that there was a kind of misalignment between supply and demand. So just recognizing overall, we don't have enough credentials to meet the need for employers in our region. Our post-secondary pipeline is producing about one graduate for every four jobs that requires a credential.
Hmm.
And then at the same time, we know that folks aren't necessarily going into programs that match demand. So we really wanted to provide clearer signals around kind of where the jobs are, but probably most importantly, what education and training programs could I enroll in today to kind of get me where I might need to be for one of those positions. And I think the other cool thing is that also layers in some of our additional supports. So whether you need help with childcare, transportation, financial aid, all of that is also available in the platform. We have a lot of community partners helping us with this. So there is kind of a self-service route if somebody wants to navigate on their own, or they could reach out to one of our partners through the platform to receive more personalized support and coaching.
Hmm.
And so, what do they actually click on then to go to MI Career Compass? MI Career Compass itself, or what? How
Yeah,
do
so
they
it's
get
on.
there?
Yeah, it's on our website. There will be a sign up form there. The platform is actually hosted through FutureFit AI, which is a technology company that we're working with based in New York. Once users kind of reach that page, they'll fill out a quick questionnaire, really just with some demographic information to help us route them to an appropriate partner if need be. Then they will kind of complete the onboarding form, upload a resume if they have that. And from there, the platform will essentially infer what skills they have, kind of based on their previous employment and education history. Then it will kind of guide them through exploring potential career paths in West Michigan that match their kind of given skill set.
So where do these career paths come from? Is this data that's input by employers then about openings they have?
Yes, very good question. So we did a very lengthy exercise with our employer partners, really just to make sure that any role that we were featuring on the platform would have a job at the end of it. I think we wanted to be very mindful of any kind of dead ends for the individual. So essentially pushing somebody into a program that would not ultimately lead them to a job.
Hmm.
That is definitely not what we wanted to happen. So we really started with our employers first and asked them for a bunch of information on which jobs they were hiring. Are you still expecting to hire this in the next 6 months, in the next year? And so we really kind of built backwards from the demand.
And of those 120 or so employers that you work with, did they all contribute? Some of them? And what sort of reaction did you get from them, or reception, I should say?
Yeah, so we are starting very small. This is a pilot for the next 2 years. So we've got about 7 employer partners on board. I think they were all really excited. A lot of this stuff tends to happen one on one, where they either have a partnership with a specific college or a specific education and training provider. And I think our kind of tagline from the beginning has been 2 plus 2 should equal 5. So how do we take what we're doing individually and really create one place where everybody can go to see a bit more clarity around where those opportunities are?
Well, it sounds like how it might work is that someone might input a career path that they want to be on, and then they'll say what skills and education they already have. And if they don't quite have enough to match up to where they want to go, you also point them towards educational opportunities, educational institutions, right?
That's correct. So once they start, they upload a resume, or they can fill it out manually if they want. From there, it will infer kind of what their current skills are,
Hmm.
and then it will give them kind of a match score based on one of the career paths we have in the platform. So, say I've been working as a home health aide, I want to be a registered nurse. That would be one of my recommended routes. I would be able to see exactly what skills I currently have that match that position, but probably most importantly, what skills I would need to develop to be kind of a good candidate for that role. And then it would kind of walk me through where I can go to get a credential or training for my chosen career. Also includes a bunch of options for financial assistance. So we're recognizing that there is quite a lot of resources out there right now for post-secondary credential attainment. But folks don't always know where those programs are, how they access them. So we definitely want to leverage some existing funds and help point folks in the right direction.
Let's talk a little bit more about FutureFit AI, your partner on
Yeah.
this. How did you get plugged into them? Did they approach you? What do they bring to the party? That sort of thing.
Yes. So we did a quite a lengthy exercise in the very beginning. Once we sort of had the concept mapped out, and we did kind of a series of demos with a bunch of different vendors, because there are various platforms that do bits and pieces of what My Career Compass does. Essentially, we started off by saying, here are the 11 criteria we're looking for in our perfect technology platform. We sat through a bunch of demos with our whole team. Everybody had their own scoring rubric, and we were kind of scoring each demo based on those criteria. And FutureFit emerged as the winner. Really, the only platform we found that did exactly what we were looking for, which was sort of connect all of the silos from education to community partners to employers. Other platforms seem to have more connections between kind of the education side of things and the workforce side of things. Some of them are a bit more focused on employment, but we really couldn't find anything that bridged all of those gaps between all of those stakeholders operating in the ecosystem. So yeah, really glad that we were able to partner with FutureFit.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Talent First. I'm curious how long the organization's been around and how it was founded. I know there's a bunch of economic development organizations in West Michigan.
Yep.
There's Lakeshore Advantage, there's Right Place, a whole bunch of organizations like that. Is Talent First sort of an outgrowth of those, or when was it founded?
Not necessarily. So we were actually founded as Talent 2025
Hmm.
back in, I want to say, 2012. And it was really because a lot of the economic developers were not focusing on talent. It was kind of a necessary evil for folks at that time, but not really something that was kind of high priority for them. And so we kind of emerged in the wake of all of that. Specifically in the wake of the Great Recession, we had kind of a really tight labor market. Employers didn't really know what they could be doing to improve their talent strategy. We had skills gaps. There were a whole bunch of issues within the ecosystem at the time, and our founders basically said, "We need one organization dedicated to focus on talent. That's kind of all we do, exclusively operating in this space, and have been for, I guess, the past 13 years." Yeah.
So, what's the geographic area that Talent First covers?
Yep. So we cover all 13 counties in Prosperity Region 4. So all the way from Lake down through Ottawa. We will be continuing the pilot until 2026. It is free for any residents of Penn, Ottawa, Muskegon, really kind of focusing on Grand Rapids, Muskegon, and Holland as kind of the primary sites for the pilot. So if anybody wants to log in from outside of there, they can. They just won't necessarily see accurate representation of employment opportunities or education opportunities.
Okay. Matt?
All right. Thanks very much, Alex Andrews from TalentFirst, which is a business-led nonprofit in West Michigan. He is Director of Business Intelligence and Workforce Innovation. Give us the website for this new resource, MI Career Compass, one more time.
TalentFirst.net /MI Career Compass.